As many will know, there was a vote in Poland on the 15th of October. It was a vote which produced a record turnout, but in many ways it was a rather nasty election, with accusations flying back and forward between the different parties. My name is Iain Begg. I'm a professor at the European Institute of the London School of Economics and Political Science, and an observer of all things European, which includes recently being in Poland to speak at the National Bank annual conference, giving me an opportunity to look at what was going on with the Polish election. Though the incumbent party, the government party called Law and Justice, won the biggest share of the votes, most commentators believe it doesn't have a big enough share to enable it to form a government in conjunction with other parties. Therefore, the result was portrayed in much of the media as being a win for the opposition, known as Civic Platform, led by Donald Tusk, who is a former Polish Prime Minister and also served for 5 years as the President of the European Council. So it might be seen as a Brussels insider. We're in a difficult position because the Polish President is obliged as a first step to invite the existing government, which won the largest share of the votes, to try to form a government. It's pretty clear that it won't be able to, but the Polish President, who happens to belong also to that party, is taking his time. According to the constitution, he has up to 30 days to try to get a government organised, and so far he has yet to approach the opposition. Now, the opposition itself is rather fragmented. It's several parties led by Donald Tusk's party, Platforma, but it's an odd coalition because it's left and right within it instead of being centre-right as he is. So we have something of a standoff going on at present. The difficulty about all of this is that there's also accusations in the background about the way the election was conducted. Particularly, there was an allegation that, probably true, that the media was severely biased in favour of the governing Law and Justice Party. They were able to control some of the presentation on television, even though the television gave equal time to different parties. They were able to control a number of local papers, which are owned by, believe it or not, big business which is in the energy industry. So all of this created a bad flavour, and there was a further accusation that by associating the general election with a number of referenda, the Law and Justice Party, once again the incumbent party, was able to exploit loopholes in the electoral law that enabled it to spend far more than its opposition, because it could say it was spending on the referenda and not on the general election. Election observers mandated by the OSCE, which is a European body, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, examined the Polish elections, and although deciding it was fair in many respects, it was pretty clear in its verdict that it believes the ruling party and its candidate, I'm quoting, gained a clear advantage from the misuse of state resources, undermining the separation between state and party. Now, bearing in mind that Poland is already the subject of investigation by others because of its attempts to diminish the rule of law, this is not a pretty picture that's being presented to the rest of the world. We wait to see what happens next. It's going to be exciting.